Hello, my name is Chris, and today I'm going to review the 2020 Subaru Legacy. Subaru has adopted a constant improvement philosophy that has yielded results. Although the competition is high level and ferocious, Legacy makes a case for itself with a renewed interior, tremendous value, and four-wheel drive. But additionally, Legacy has a higher posture than its low-to-the-ground rivals, giving Legacy a less sexy exterior styling, but a slightly higher, more upright seating position. It is a very accomplished package. The space is tremendous, and rear seat passengers will find comfort, which is essential in the midsize class. Subaru sent Ross the mid-trim 4-cylinder Limited, which packs incredible value. Leather seats with 10-way adjustment with a first-in-class thigh extension. HK sound system with 576 watts. Full electronic driving aids, 18-inch wheels with reasonable 50 ratio tires, an aluminum hood. I am impressed. All this for slightly more than $34,000 Canadian. Legacy has a soft ride, tank-like build, low road noise, and it makes an ideal cruiser. The leather seats are comfortable to sit in, as you can imagine. Subaru has zeroed in on what the buyer of midsizes want, but are not ready to fork over $40,000 for a compact crossover which cannot compete with this car's sheer luxury. They do want the all-wheel drive, and they do want a reasonable drive height though. Flaws are few and far between. Subaru decided on an 11.6-inch screen for bragging rights perhaps. I prefer redundant hard buttons, especially for climate control. The Crosstrek is certainly Subaru's most compelling product, but I would argue that Legacy has crept up on the class leaders in this category, and that this price makes it a bargain and also a must test drive. The engine is a 4-cylinder boxer that makes 182 horsepower and 176 pounds of torque. The only transmission, a CVT, does 8.8 liters in the city and 6.7 liters on the highway. Pretty good for an all-wheel drive. Here are my thoughts on the road. Hello car lovers, driving the 2020 Subaru Legacy. This is the limited model. It's a mid-trim. I really like manufacturers that lend car reviewers their base models or their mid-trim. It shows a confidence in the value of their products, and this Subaru certainly is a value. I'm going to talk about that very shortly. So what to say about this vehicle? Well, on the outside, extremely conservative. This has been redone, and you really have to be a Subaru fan to note that there's been a change. I certainly, when I saw it, it wasn't that much different from all the other Subaru Legacies I've tried, and I guess that's okay because you do get the advantages of this somewhat boxy style. There is a tendency in the mid-size segment to have vehicles low to the ground, really sporty, and I'm not sure all mid-size sedan buyers want that. I think that they want something that perhaps is a little bit closer to an SUV experience, perhaps, higher off the ground. And in fact, on Subaru's website, Subaru brags that this is the sedan SUV. I think there's onto something here, and that is for you to decide whether that is true or not. There's a lot of marketing in here. We're still in a sedan. We're not sitting up in a SUV. However, it is higher up. I feel it's higher up than most of its rivals, and that's pretty nice. What is the advantage of that? You have perhaps a little bit of a higher seating position, I should think. It seems to me I feel more comfortable in terms of the seating position. I'm going to talk about these seats. These seats are very good. Ross liked them. I like them. They've got thigh extenders. At this price, it's unheard of, and it really goes a long way for comfort. What about the ride? The ride is very soft. However, I don't think it's quite molasses-like, almost molasses-like. It's really on the softer side. Subarus have always been known to be a little bit sporty, and this is certainly not the case with this vehicle. And I think that is smart also. I think people want comfort, especially when combined with this hyper-conservative exterior styling. Tremendous value, this mid-trim model. You get a Harman-Kardon sound system, which is very good. You get these leather seats. The leather quality is very good, I think. And you get a leather-wrapped steering wheel, though the leather quality of the leather-wrapped steering wheel is very average. It's something you would see on a compact car. Nevertheless, it is leather, so I won't complain too much. You get the impression that the materials and the assembly is very high quality. In terms of durability, I just feel that this interior will keep its you know, it won't fade with time. If you put your elbow here, you won't have any bumps here like perhaps my Acura TLX does. This quality is felt also in the assembly. There's no rattles, nothing. It's quiet on the highway. Really good. It's a really good cruiser. I know a lot of people in Quebec like to take their cars out on the weekend. They go up north perhaps for breakfast. It's a one and a half hour drive to get there, 1.5 hour drive to get back, or sometimes they'll go to the eastern townships. I think 4 people can do this really well in tremendous comfort because there's a lot of space in back and there's a lot of comfort in back also. It's not just the front passengers. So space-wise, it's very good. You're seated, it seems to me, a little bit higher, and this visibility is incredible. The front visibility, this windshield is huge. Side visibility, this window is enormous. It's just in back that's a little bit restrained, just like all other sedans. Not a lot of flaws, I would say. The all-wheel drive is a real bonus. Ross harps on and on about the all-wheel drive, but he's right about that in terms that it does represent the preoccupation of a lot of Quebec buyers, especially here. We live in the snow, above the snow line. We do get winters. We do get a lot of rain in Quebec, and the all-wheel drive system is good for rainy conditions, not just snowy conditions. So very, very complete package, very well-priced package. Does not have the overall refinement of, I think, a Honda Accord or a Mazda 6 in terms of the interior. The styling is perhaps more bulky than many of its competitors, though it does bring you the advantages of that bulk. A really good drive. I'm the typical buyer of this category of vehicle, and I find the mid-size non-premium segment is perhaps the segment which has the greatest value. I mean, I just drove an Acura MDX and a Kia Telluride not long ago, and I will tell you the noise inside the cabin is the same. The quality, the build quality is the same, and for much less money and much less gas. So there still is a logical reason to be buying mid-size sedans over their SUV counterparts. And sometimes I think people maybe are spending a little bit too much money. I know a lot of people in Quebec who are reaching out to get that SUV or that small crossover, and perhaps they should be sticking their money in a sedan and saving the gas money, the purchase money. And I'm not trying to be moralizing. Everybody can buy whatever they want, but I just think that there is a lot of value in these mid-size sedans. Probably the best value of all the categories when you think about it. And those are my thoughts. So I think this is good for the lease. This is good for the purchase. And it is also, I think, a must test drive. If the exterior styling does not put you off, I think there's a strong chance you may actually buy it, especially if you live above the snow line. And those are my thoughts. So, by the way, if you like this video, like it. If you don't like it, don't like it. And if you really like it, you should subscribe. If you like the format, you should subscribe. If you like 4K, you should subscribe. And if you're really awesome, you can click the notifications icon and you will be notified when I come out with a new video. Isn't that awesome? And that is the review.